welcome, babies. You are now one of my new babies, so you get one kiss on the foreknock, I've been saying. And if you're returning, welcome back, babies. You get multiple kisses. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we start this session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay. I'm gonna touch you, okay? I have permission to touch you. Okay, I'm gonna just place my hand on your shoulder, one on your head. You ready? Inhale. Exhale. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. And for those who don't know what Ashe means, Ashe is the same concept of Chi. Ashe is the Yoruba Chi. We know that we get this from traditional Chinese medicine, and so it is beautiful how a concept of essentially life force energy has existed in multiple societies, multiple experiences, and here to heal us in multiple ways. So let's just do this, okay? And that's also the chi or the ki is also Reiki. There you go. And we know Reiki is a Japanese healing modality. Okay, let me not go down that rabbit hole because I gotta stay focused. I'll leave that for my students. I gotta stay focused. So healing. Let me get my healing tools. The magic of television, of social media. Swivel a little bit. Goodness gracious. Y'all about to not get this if I can't reach it. Lucky. I was like, time to use a new tool. Time to improvise. Okay, so swivel myself back around. I'm gonna start off with just some cinnamon. We're gonna do some cinnamon cleansing here. And also just a little bit of candle work just to open up the space. Just to open up. So just get a regular candle and just a strong candle. Okay. When in doubt, use a torch. This has made life so much simpler. Except I will admit that when I'm lighting an herb, the torch works really well. When I'm lighting a candle, sometimes I melt it too much. I thank you for your service, torch. So inhale, exhale, and just follow this light. Okay? And don't place any judgment or anything like that. Just follow the light. And so we're opening up with a protection so that you are only connecting with the right person for you. That they are ready to receive you. You're ready to receive them. And we don't talk about this enough. That both of y'all got y'all shit together, okay? So just breathing through this. Breathing through this. Just following that. Okay. Okay. See yourself surrounded by the deepest amount of protection and see them with you as you flow through that. See the love that you all share and the guidance and support we don't want is we don't want any pessimism. We don't want any self-sabotage. We don't want any of these lower vibrational experiences. Okay. Okay. Good job. How do you feel? Now, this is you. This is them. Let's bring y'all together again. Or if y'all don't know each other, it won't be a together again. Just swivel myself around. Inhale. Exhale. Just bringing your energy to one. And just cleansing. It's really important here to cleanse. It's really important to cleanse the third eye here so you have sight. So you're able to determine the right person, because baby, when you start to open yourself up to this true love, many people want that. They're not your person. They're not ready for you. Or they're not your people, whatever you do. They're not ready for you. But they just want it desperately, and they might be the first one to jump. So we want to give you discernment so that you only are bringing in the right person or the right people for you, as well as understanding that codependency is not love. So if you find yourself in a codependent relationship, or you find that your relationships eventually become codependency, we have to shift your energy in order to understand what that really is. Codependency makes you have feelings, whether those feelings are high or low. If you've ever been in a relationship, or if you ever dated where there's nothing there, you don't feel anything, you know, like, oh, there's nothing there. But a codependent relationship will trick you into thinking that there's something there because you have feelings both high and low. But a healthy relationship has healthy boundaries, healthy energetic balance. There's going to be times where you all really enjoy yourself, and most of the time it's just going to be peaceful. There's going to be times where you disagree, that's appropriate. But you all being able to have conflict analysis and resolution, being able to communicate well, not having unrealistic expectations for each other, and to still be autonomous, to still have your own freedom, and not because you are required to be together, but you simply choose each other each and every day. So I'm bringing them to you and allowing them to appear in your mind's eye. See them. What do they feel like? And start to put the qualities on them physically of what you are attracted to. But what do they feel like? I want you to get used to their feeling first. So, universe, placing a protection over you all, that you all are protected, and that you all are surrounded by the energy you need in order to be successful, in order to find each other, to remove anything from their life that's getting in the way, and remove anything from your life getting in the way. And also so that you all don't be able to not self-sabotage. Okay. Okay. We're also not going to be taking any other baggage into this experience. So if you have something that you need to close up with someone else, they will not appear until you close it up. A lot of times people will want to be halfway out of something and get into somewhere else, but oftentimes that kind of leaves a bad taste in the next relationship. moment. Time. Space. Each moment, okay? So just coming together and becoming one. And feeling that. Feel yourself holding each other's hand, holding each other's energy. And what do you notice about them? What can you appreciate about them? How do they make you feel? How do you make them feel? Okay, because not everything's one-sided. You gotta be a catch yourself. What do you all do? What do you love about them? What do you like about them? What do you love about them? What connects you all on a higher level? Okay, just kind of weaving in and connecting in you all's energy so you can see each other, and removing anyone else. I'm gonna say it how my grandma used to say it. Removing stupid. Stupid would always be someone that a person was in a relationship with that was not the right person for them, was very much so an emotional burden, probably a financial burden. And so she would just, and sometimes to these people's face, just call them stupid. Why you still was stupid? Did I laugh? Tremendously in those moments. I'm like, oh wow, that's gotta be embarrassing. But again, just people who are in those codependent relationships, it's that kind of situation. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need someone to keep it real with you. Because if you don't, it's like when you're in the forest, you don't see the trees. You're like, okay. So just working through that. nice little energetic kiss. And feel how it feels to connect with the right one. My babies. This is now your nightly self-care routine. So because you're now one of my babies, you get one kiss on the forehead. And if you're returning babies, you get multiple kisses. Mama loves you, okay? Well, let's get started. We start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, take a deep breath in. And exhale. A couple more. Exhale. Final breath. And exhale. Okay. Just relax. May I touch you? Okay. Just breathe here. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So, first things first, I'm just going to put a little bit of just protection over you. Because when the brighter you shine, the greater shadow you're going to cast. And so, sometimes that can make you a target of jealousy or just, I think what happens is people want attention. They don't know how to get balanced attention all the time, and so sometimes it can come off in very weird jealousy kind of ways, or from the individual, from if you feel like, or if I felt like it was some type of jealousy energy towards someone or something that's also an expression of certain feelings and such. I'm like, yes, I just described jealousy when I could have just said jealousy. Anyway, it's just a person trying to not respect boundaries and kind of force their way in there, but then not treat the inside with, tender support you. They just want to support you. Okay. Now I want to go through here, because sometimes when people take advantage of really nice people, those really nice people start to close up. And unfortunately, sometimes you might close up for one reason, but limit yourself from receiving love or receiving appreciation fully in a genuine kind of way. And so a part of this session is removing any love blockages as well. And that starts with ourselves. So if you're able, take your hands, put them across your body. You can also give yourself a nice, warm hug. Put hands across your body. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel yourself in your physical body in this moment. Feel yourself. Notice every part of you, your ankles, your toes, your wrists, your nose, whatever that is. Feel that. And feel how much you love yourself, how much you trust yourself, how much you need yourself, how much you don't regret anything, that you are happy to have been born the person that you are today, that it was meant to be exactly like this. It had to be exactly like this. This is the best iteration of this life, regardless of how it is going or where it's going. This is the best. So just keep breathing in there. Balancing there. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for doubting any moments where you felt powerless. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for trusting those that maybe did not turn out to be trustworthy. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself fully. That even if there's no rational reason, if sometimes you just feel down, to trust yourself, to tap in and to be with yourself, to show up for yourself, and to be in the moment with yourself, and to have love for yourself, for yourself. Okay, so bringing that energy back together here, just breathing in, exhaling, releasing, letting go. And we're gonna do that again, but we're gonna go a little bit slower, okay? Or a lot of bit slower. Breathing in, and we're gonna do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, let it go. yourself in this moment. You are tapped in to what is important to you. And you feel good. You know, this whole community is about feeling good, is about checking in with ourselves, about having routine and in self-care. And it's so amazing how things may not feel like they're always in your control, or things may not feel like they're going well in other parts of your life, but when you're able to just have a routine in something and you feel like there is some movement in some direction, that can be healing, that can bring a lot of joy in your life during times that may feel a little meh. So just enjoy it wherever you can find your happiness, no matter what. Whatever little thing you need to do in order to get that happiness, find it, search it out, seek it out, and hold on to it. And hold on to it like your life depends on it. Because the things that make you happy really shape who you are. And when you check in with yourself and you take care of yourself and you bring joy into your own life, you start to send that out too. You're probably less likely to cut somebody out. Less likely, I'm not saying totally impossible, you know. I'm trying to be realistic, but maybe perhaps just less likely to do that. But just to check in with yourself. Don't be afraid to get vulnerable with yourself to the point where you feel brand new. You feel like, oh my gosh, what is this? Because the people around you, we can see your light, and it is shining very bright. And those of us that are confident, we just want to see you shine brighter. And those of us who are not confident, that's where that jealousy comes in. But even if you have encountered people with that kind of dynamic, it's still okay when you're ready, and only when you're ready, to be open to love, to be open to restoring what was distorted, and checking in with. Exhale. Final breath. And just let it all go. Let it all go. Let it all go. Okay, so if you're new to the community, we start this session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, hearts open, relax. Okay, you ready? Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. I say. Okay. Okay, good job. Now, let's just go in, and I'm just going to work a little bit through your aura, just to kind of prepare you for this shadow work. And so I think nowadays people know the difference between shadow work and light work. I'll give you a little synopsis, but I'm not going to go into it too much. So shadow work is when you're going in to heal trauma, past pain, and kind of get over if you're feeling stuck. And light work is when you want to manifest and bring things into your life. Now there are times where you're doing both at the same time, but most of the time what's actually happening is that are energetic hoarders. And so can you imagine in your house, you're full of stuff, and then you want to go get a new furniture set? It doesn't make sense. And so shadow work helps us to clear out and make space so that what is right for us can actually have somewhere to be placed when it comes into our life. So just exhale and just release any pain, any confusion, any doubt. And sometimes it can be memories. Release any memories associated with love that has expired and passed its expiration date. But also the healing love of family, mothers, fathers, siblings, the healing love of friends, people important to you, community, collective. You know, whenever we're in a community that is very vulnerable too, so we can be in love and have a very loving energy towards our community. And sometimes communities have a weird kind of energy to them. Doesn't have to be all the time, but sometimes they can have a weird energy to them. And so you might fall in love with a community and then they start doing some real weird stuff. By weird stuff, I mean like being mean, or something that you didn't sign up for. And here it is, you were so open and you were so vulnerable, and now you feel like, oh, this really, really hurts. And so that could also be a healing that applies to you. All love from an energetic perspective is pretty much the same. Rather, it is that you want to express that in a romantic way, or a platonic way, or within family. So when you start to balance and regulate yourself energetically, it heals a lot of things at one time. So it's not just, okay, let me go do this love healing. Okay, let me go do this friendship healing. Let me go do this parent healing. You can do those things if it makes you feel better. But when you go down to the core of what we're working on when it comes to energy, all of those things heal together. And of course, for those who don't know, the core is always your self-love, how you treat yourself. I was actually just talking about this on Patreon, the difference between personal healings and relationship healings. And when it comes to a relationship healing, sometimes if you notice that it's not a particular person, but it's a theme that continues to go over and over again, then that could be an indication of needing an ancestor healing, or need to kind of acknowledge that your ancestors are there. Why? Because those are the foundations of the relationships, the energetic relationships we have today. So if you go and you make sure that they're taken care of, they also bring into your life the energy and the connectedness of healthier relationships. So if you want to listen to that, that is on Patreon. And you all know that I am currently teaching the Reiki Master Teacher cohort. It's been a very beautiful experience, all of those wonderful energies there. But whenever I'm teaching, it gets me in a very let me explain every concept that's going on here. And so that's one way to experience some of the stuff we're talking about on the Patreon community. Okay, so now just go to the heart and release. Go to the heart and release. Go to the heart and release. Go to the feel any messages that may be coming across. I always ask, why are you experiencing this? From a macro view. And whatever answer comes up, don't judge it, don't doubt yourself, just trust it. And even if it doesn't make sense, just take note of it and maybe reflect on it later, see if it applies then. You know, all of this stuff, really, especially when it comes to love healings, it really is just an exercise of loving ourselves. Love is that too, even romantic love. It's really less about the other person and more about how do we allow ourselves to be treated in relationships, how do we conduct ourselves in relationships, and that actually has nothing to do with other people. It is just an exercise of how much we care for ourselves, because when you love yourself and you care for yourself, you don't treat other people like that, and you don't allow people to treat you in that kind of way, of not being loving, not being supportive, of gaslighting you, of wanting you to remain sick or them to remain sick, or wanting the dynamics to not grow and to remain stagnant. The universe presents different opportunities for us to say, my first job is to love myself, and I remove myself from circumstances, situations, and people who don't embody that same feeling about themselves, as well as create an environment that make it difficult for myself. And I want to stress the point here that it is not a situation in which someone is doing something to you and it's just, oh, whoa, life is happening to me. We all consent to be in different dynamics, so we can remove the judgment. And when we remove the judgment, we can make it easier on ourselves of, why did I stay so long, or why did I let somebody treat me like that, or why, whatever the what ifs are, why didn't this work out, blah, 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 all of that stuff. You can release that when you understand we all were in a dynamic together. And once I realized what I needed to know, it was time for me to go. It's that simple. Much harder in application though. But that's how a lot of things in life are. So relax your energy here. And let's just take out any sadness, any fear, any confusion, any doubt, any wonder of the what ifs. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And just relax. Just relax, just relax, just relax, just relax. Into this. Okay. Keep breathing here. Relax into this. Release. Now you can bring your hands to heart and breathe in. Go through the crown, go all the way down. And feel how good it feels just to sit in this moment with yourself, just to be in love with yourself, with the moment. Demonstrate to yourself what real love feels like, how to expect that from others. Sit in your own greatness and happiness. Keep breathing. A couple more deep breaths here. And releasing yourself and trust in your process. Trust in who you are. Trust that everything you're experiencing will make sense. Trust in it. Couple more breaths. Just to work on this area a little bit. And release it. And move it through the physical body. And again, take a couple more moments and just breathe, sweetie. Breathe sweetness. Breathe in and out. Enjoy every moment of the day. Enjoy every experience. Enjoy every time that you get to wake up and experience the newness of today. That you get to live in this moment. That you get to feel all your senses. That you could connect with all those loved ones here and on. And that you are protected and you are connected and you are loved infinitely, and so on and so on. When you start walking in life from that perspective, it becomes less lonely, it becomes less confusing, it becomes less fearful. Things start to settle down, the dust starts to settle, and you start to see everything clearly. And sometimes things happen at a certain time because that's when it's supposed to happen. And sometimes things don't happen at a certain time because it's not yet time for that. Please welcome. This is your nightly self-care routine. If you're new, you're one of my babies now, so you get one kiss on the forehead. And if you're a returning baby, multiple kisses. Mama loves you, okay? So we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It's a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay. Let's say the prayer, okay? May I touch you? Okay. Oh, some Reiki symbol. This is our next video. I'm not gonna be able to let this comb go, okay? You ready? Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Okay, so I'm just going to gently draw around and just get your energy going in a certain flow. Now, okay, I also want to remind you to join the 52-week challenge. We're mastering 1 to 2 things this year, and we have a group together that's working on that. On the Patreon community, it is $3 a month. Feel free to join if that's something you would like to do. And one more reminder that I will say is that y'all, with these Saturn returns in Pisces that's coming up in March, prepare yourself. You would be in check to confirm. If you look in your natal chart, it's just your Saturn is in Pisces. That's happening in March. Prepare yourself, prepare yourself, prepare yourself. Why am I telling you this? Well, I'll tell you more later, but the reason why is because your first Saturn return, if it's your second, I'll get to you in a second, but your first Saturn return is typically the hardest because your life is going to drastically change. Sometimes it's on the outside, sometimes it's on the inside, sometimes it's both. But you're going to get a lot out of it, okay? So don't freak out. It's okay. You're going to get a lot out of the experience, but prepare yourself. And you know, I'm here the entire way and the entire time. And let me know in the comment section if y'all Saturn returns in Pisces want me to put something together for you all to, figure it out. Let me know in the comment section. If y'all don't, tell me in the comment section. I'm not going to do it. Okay. So, back to this love manifesting. So, as you fill yourself up with all of this love that is available to you whenever you need to, remind yourself that you are love, okay? You have to challenge your ideas of love. If you have had a string of bad luck with love and understand the difference between just normally love, it'll have its ups and downs, it is what it is. But bad luck is like every person you're choosing is pretty much just all over the place, as opposed to you had a relationship, it lived its, it served its purpose, and it's just hard to let it go. Those are two different things. Two different things, okay? There's a difference between entertaining. I'm trying to think what terminology did my grandma used to use. I remember I said it one time. She would call, if you dated somebody who really didn't have a lot to offer you, she would call them a bum. she would say, like, oh, you dating that bum? It's like, dang, older people, especially like black grandmothers, they didn't, they didn't have a filter. And the reason why that they didn't have a filter is because in a life, in a society that had them hyper vigilant of themselves, had them constantly being critiqued and scrutinized, they learned how to kind of walk through life with perfection. So they expected nothing less than that. So they would say, things like that. Now, I was really smart, and the reason why I was smart was I wouldn't let them know who I was dating, so they couldn't judge me even if I was making a poor decision. But I watched them with my siblings. I was like, yeah, y'all messed up over there. But I say all of that to say, the love that you want in your life is there, is available. I tell you this many times. And what I notice is, if you focus on loving yourself, making yourself whole, filling yourself up, fulfilling a lot of those needs that maybe you had thought someone else was supposed to do for you, the person always shows up. But so many people are used to codependency. So many people are used to externalizing all of their power and all of their desire, that simple thing is just too much for them, They're really just completely caught up on the answer has to be outside of me instead of the answer being within me. necessarily that would make you feel like I gotta find the answer outside of me. Just being hard-headed. If you're old, it's a habit. It's just a habit that you're doing that needs to be broken. That's it. Now, we can also be really constructive here again. The things that I'm talking about, these principles of manifesting and aligning things and bringing things into your life, they're not as really out there. It's very practical things, but it's also things that people have to reprogram their brain and their expectations to understand. Like, for example, you might feel like the more relationships that you have, the better you'll understand what you want, which is not a bad mindset. But if you're trying to have all of these relationships at the same time, and it goes past just dating, because I'm one of those people that when you're out there dating, this again, what my grandparents used to say, my grandmothers, they used to say, if you're not married, you're single. What I mean by that is, enjoy the dating process. You do not have to be exclusive with, just the first person who like winks at you, That's what I'm saying. But I also think it is an issue if you want to have these deep, fulfilling relationships with multiple people at one time, and y'all didn't all consent to those dynamics. So, or entertaining someone who's doing that to you, because you feel like you want to win at it. No, any person that makes your love a competition is a waste of your time. And I'm going to keep it real with you. You can waste your time, as well as you can get sick from being in a relationship that is not really for you. Again, relationships are a lot like, friendships and families, and really important, intimate relationships that we have. And so, anything that causes you consistent stress, consistent questioning, does not have a firm foundation, even if you feel like this person has the potential to be everything that you want, is not worth your time. When I say, and I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience, I developed an entire autoimmune disease for staying in a relationship way too long. And that was one of the most helpful things that I could have through the universe. And I know that sounds crazy, but the reason why I say that is because when you start having Stockholm syndrome and you start feeling like, you know what, maybe this wasn't bad, you have sympathy because you're a human being for the person, or what, and heavens forbid, people, because that's even more confusing. But when you start feeling that way, when you can objectively say, okay, this is what their energy did to my body, or not blaming them, thinking about it like this is the state of my body as I was dealing with fill in the blank. If it's not a good state, then you do not need to stay. You gotta kick that energy out. And also, same thing with friends, family, again, love as well. If you feel healing, if you feel balance, and I don't mean you're just projecting or you're just kind of unloading on someone, but you feel like you don't even have the need to unload anything, unload baggage, or put baggage on other people, or receive baggage. If you're around somebody and they just make you feel good exactly as you are, that is worth it. So, one thing that I always like, you gotta go with what you want to do. I had a session one time. This is funny. I had a session one time, and I was doing this reading surrounding love. This person had convinced themselves that even though this was not working, they was gonna keep on trying it. And I was like, okay, I get it. So they're like, you think it's gonna work? And I was like, no, but I think you're gonna do it anyway. And then we both just started laughing. And I was like, and I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, because you need to learn the way that you need to learn it. So I'm not saying that to give you the permission to go and do something foolish. I'm just letting you know that heed my words. Because if you don't heed my words, you're going to have to experience it firsthand. And you're gonna think, you know what? This is not what I wanted. And that's okay. Believe me, I'm laughing now, but it was not fun. It was not fun. I'm only laughing now because I'm like, wow, I could have made it so much easier on myself. And the cool thing about it is that once you master that, everything else makes sense. Like, you don't have the same type of issues with friendships. You don't have the same type of issues with family. You don't have the same type of issues with love. It's less about, honestly, finding your soulmate and more about just finding people you're compatible with. And a part of that is dealing with your vices, dealing with your codependency. Everybody has these things that we just naturally learned. And understanding freedom, understanding the art of letting go, understanding not to suffer from things, understanding that you may have been dealing with something with someone for so long that you feel like, oh, I don't want to step out of this line, and then someone else come and da-da-da-da, and guess what? The moment you step out the line, someone else will come, and guess what? They're probably going to treat them better, but they were never going to treat you better. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's just really hard for people to learn how to treat a person that they know in a new way. It's the same reason that in your family, you might have always been this person, no matter how much you've changed in your life. Or if you have very long friendships, sometimes you all are still dealing on the same level as when you first met versus who you are now. And when you meet new friendships at the stage you're at now, it's not personal, it's just kind of very, very difficult to break down those walls and treat somebody differently. You honestly, or they honestly, have to have an entirely new personality, and that is even harder to do. So this is what I say: if you want to attract that love to you, you go have fun and you love on yourself and you give yourself all those things. I want you to make a list of all the things that you want a partner to be, and I want you to start fulfilling that for yourself. And when I say the right people will walk into your life, it's like, because it's very practical. You're demonstrating to them what you need. A lot of times people are wanting something from others and they have no clue what it is. They just know what they don't want, and they're just trying to, expect someone else to know it for them. No, go figure yourself out. Go figure out everything you want and you need, and give others a clear communication, clear direction of how to bring happiness to you, as well as you being able to be open and free to that in them as well. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed this session today of the week of the comb. The week of the comb. The week of the comb. And to know that love is all around you, that you have access to love. Love is within you. And, I'm trying to put myself in those shoes again to think, like, what was I thinking? It is not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Love shows up in many ways in our life. And if this is not your first time here with me, you know I really emphasize self-love being the key to having healthy love and healthy loving dynamics. But love can teach us a whole lot of things. It can teach us patience, kindness. It can help us self-reflect to make changes. And sometimes love is one of those only areas where we will allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to explore and make changes. Even if you don't consider yourself a person who is vulnerable with others, the fact that you even have that awareness in that space of love is much more than, perhaps other dynamics in a person's life. But love carries messages. Always feel that when you connect to the universe, divine, God, or whatever it is that you specifically believe in, I tell you all the time, that's your business to figure out what you believe in. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But when you connect to whatever is out there, that is pure, unconditional love. Unconditional. And I talked about this before. A lot of people have fear-based love. Fear-based love in their faith, their spiritual path, their religion. Fear-based love in their relationships, family, romantic, platonic. Fear-based in themselves, being super critical. And I am of the perspective that if love is unconditional, it has to be unconditional. As someone who really enjoys history, like y'all know I love history, like I will go down, and I mean like human history, like I go down random tangents about us as a species, as someone who is like that, what I've noticed as I've learned more and more is that a lot of fear-based that is surrounding faith and religion is more about control and less about actually the meat and potato of the religion. All of these kind of rules and regulations that are pretty much socially constructed a lot of times cause more harm than help. And with that perspective, when you connect to, and this is what I like to call, the universe, source, God, that's what I like to say. I like to say the universe. When you connect to the universe, it is unconditional love. You don't have to do anything. There's not a particular set of rules. And I think that is super important when it comes to why people struggle with self-love. Because if at the core of your understanding of the divine is conditional, you make your own self-love conditional as well. But the core of your structure with the divine, the universe, is unconditional. You then stop requiring yourself to have to be at a certain place in life, have to have a certain thing before you start loving yourself and really truly appreciating yourself. And that can be really hard to realize because we live in society. We have societal norms, different societies, different norms, but us as a species, we tend to kind of collect in groups. And in order to be accepted by a group, whether that is, a clique or a larger society, there are certain norms and there are certain rules. And the moment that a person realizes that on the individual journey, the rules are not as helpful, maybe on a social systemic kind of group dynamic is a little bit different, but on an individual level, those rules are not helpful. I think it puts the person in this kind of existential crisis, because what do you do when everything around you is reinforcing a type of toxic love, but you truly are on your healing path to something better? Now, it doesn't mean that all societies are bad because they have rules and stuff like that. You know, it probably would be complete anarchy if there weren't any rules. But I think that we can, I think that we can separate and coexist between the two. We can be in a world where there are certain rules and expectations, but what is, great for the gander may not be good for the goose. I hear this all the time, because what I notice when I look at kind of like the big picture of things is a lot of people want to get out of whatever they're stuck in. Maybe they're stuck in relationship dynamics that are not working. Maybe they're stuck in a certain socio-economic situation. Maybe they're stuck in a certain health condition, and they want to get out of it, but they will only use the parameters that have already been preset in order to be successful. Versus as an individual, there are numerous ways, millions of ways to get out of whatever is holding you back. But when you go by already pre-established routes, there's only thousands of ways, or maybe hundreds of ways, so it limits you. So I'm of the perspective that any person can completely, drastically change their life on their own. But just because you drastically change your life doesn't mean that society will drastically change how it interacts with you. Does that make sense? We gonna get to the love, babies, but I just kind of want to explain to why these seeds are planted for how people could, feel about love. But just because you drastically change your life doesn't mean society follows through. I am still a black woman. I'm still a gay woman. I'm still a woman who, comes from a lot of marginalized backgrounds. I'm in no confusion of, the scenarios and situations that I can see in the world. But I also am an individual who is strongly connected with their internal path. So I don't really see any obstacles for me. Like, things seem like when I want something, or when there's something that is in my focus, I feel like, I can see how it's attainable. And I think I don't want as much as I used to. When I kind of looked at things from a social perspective, I wanted more. But as an individual perspective, I feel like I have so much already. I don't want as much. And I think what I do want is, typically I want things to be more meaningful. And can I do something that is more meaningful? And what amount of effort really goes into that? Versus on a social or a societal level, the energy is different. The energy is like, wanting the collective. Let me not say collective, because I feel like collective, I want to use collective in a different way. Wanting society to accept you with the same level of acceptance that you give yourself. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But sometimes people put the standards of their life based off of society. Well, I'll accept myself as much as society accepts me. And if you have a bunch of marginalized identities, that's going to be very difficult. Also, if you have more privileged identities, it's also going to be difficult to make changes. It's going to be difficult to want to transform the soul, because if society is propping you up, it's going to be hard to make changes in love. It's going to be hard to make changes in how you see the world, and actually doing more meaningful things, because why would you, So I said all of that to say, you are never truly stuck. If you ever feel like in love that you don't have the love you're looking for, that the right person has not shown up, that yourself, love will never come. It won't come, or it will come in a very conditional way. And the crazy thing about it is you'll probably outgrow the condition before it shows up in your life. So having this connection to the universe in a very unconditional way of just, universe, love on me. I'ma love myself, I was like, I'm gonna love on myself. Universe, love me. And I'ma love myself. I'ma love myself wholly, because I think the most respectful thing that we can do as, energy in the universe is to just be grateful to be energy in the universe. To evolve. I think that in our evolution as a species, in our evolution on this planet, all of the living things on this planet, we're moving closer and closer and closer to a higher understanding of things. Earlier in our species, okay, this is my little tangent. Earlier on in our species, we probably were much more fight or flight. Actually, I would think that, single-celled organisms just getting there and learning to develop like eyes and, hearing stuff, but let's say we're jumping in time and, we're kind of fully formed beings now, and we're much more, fight or flight. We're much more in just in that moment, in that adrenaline, just trying to survive by, finding our meals and things like that, which is, unfortunately, in a modern world, people are still trying to survive to simply just get meals. And, during those times, it would make sense that our body would be in a constant state of anxiety to keep us alive. Now, it doesn't really make sense. And the anxiety probably comes from, we have a lot of stimulation, we have a lot of mental stimulation, we have a lot of information. This is the age of information, so we have a lot of information being thrown at us at one time, and that can just completely boggle down the brain. The brain needs rest. Even if we're not physically taking movement, the brain still needs rest. And if you have all of these social norms, this is how you should be in love, this is how a relationship should go, this is how you should love yourself. Nope, I changed it. That's how that you should love yourself. It can just be so overwhelming on various levels. And so when I say love is healing, what I'm saying to that is you have to separate yourself from the individual and the systemic. When you really want to work on making changes, when you really want to transform your life, you got to sit in the individual energy and say, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna be over here in the individual, and I'm going to drastically change things. I'm not gonna let people treat me crazy. I'm not gonna treat people crazy. Any goal that I want it to be meaningful. I don't want to just say I want something to want something. I want it to be meaningful. Anything that is in my heart is possible to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's because there's something bigger and greater along the path. And 5, I don't have a fifth, but that's the energy. And sometimes you got to separate yourself from people. You cannot be around the people who are not vibrating at the energetic level you're at and expect to make changes. That's your fans, your family, and that's romance. Okay? Sometimes you got to let those people go as you are growing. And then of course you can re-invite them, or you will meet new people and things like that. But if you feel like you're suffering in love, you haven't found the right person, take a step back and really just love on yourself. Take care of yourself. Take a break, from that energy, and just treat yourself. Demonstrate to yourself how you would want a partner to treat you. Demonstrate to yourself how you would want your family to treat you. Demonstrate to yourself how you want your friends to treat you. And after a while, you set a standard for yourself. You create a routine for yourself. You create an expectation. So when you reintroduce yourself to your family or new people, you expect a certain thing, and they gotta straighten up or ship out. They yourself out of that environment, you will constantly make excuses to kind of drag people along and allow them to treat you in a type of way. And the way we allow people to treat us is a reflection of how deserving we feel of love. And the purpose of love is not that. The purpose of love is healing. You know, if you've ever had like a really difficult medical condition that you've got to the other side, some experience a sense of, wow, this was trying to tell me something. And seeing the beauty in even kind of the darkest of those times. But also, it doesn't mean that now you just have to live by a standard where you gotta get gravely sick in order to learn something. No, you understand that that sickness told you something so that you would never have to go back there again. But maybe you were unaware before. Maybe you didn't realize how you were treating yourself or how you were allowing other people to treat you, and that psychosomatic condition manifested in that ways. But now when you know better, you do better, because there's a little bit of like, don't want to be there again. I'm not going to do that. You burn your hand on the stove, you're not going to put it back there. And some protection on you, so that you got to think about it when it comes to this kind of manifesting stuff. Sometimes people are wanting to pull you over to where they're at because they're using energy in a kind of way that I don't always think is so ethical. So putting a protection over you so that only your person finds you and that these other people do not waste your time, as well as protecting your love, protecting y'all's life and all that stuff. So if you're new to the community, babies, welcome. This is your nightly self-care routine, a place where you relax, take care of yourself, you just be here in this space. And so if you're new to the community, welcome, babies. You are now one of my babies. You get one kiss on the forehead. And if you're a returning baby, multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay, so we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, man, that's you. Cool. Okay, ready? Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. So just okay. So first things first, I'm just gonna do some light cleansing. Why do we want to do some light cleansing? Because let's just create the environment or the atmosphere of just inhale, exhale, go. Okay, just a little bit of smoke here. Okay, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You are going to be loved. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to have all that you need and receive all that you need to receive. You deserve to have that love. You deserve to have that love. You deserve to have that love. So, this is rose. We've used this one before, but this is some nice rose because we're changing the feeling. We're lightening that up, and we're taking our time as well with it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Okay. Okay, so if you have a type that may not be your best type, let's go ahead and just pull that out. Just move that. And relearning the same old toxic patterns just over and over and over and over and over again, okay? You don't have to learn them till you're blue in the face. We're gonna let them go so that you can check off all of your boxes and the person that you're truly looking for. But let's just take some moments to work on the self a little bit too, okay? Because it's the most that's the most important part. When you vibrate from a level of 100% self-acceptance, self-love, self-gratitude, you will then attract the person that you need. It is not the opposite. Oh, please, please, please bring this person to me. It's, oh, I love this life. I'm so grateful for this life. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to share it with others along the way. And I'm only going to let that important person into my space. Everyone else can go. So that's what we're placing into this session. Now, I will say this as well. We're just going to do some protection. Yeah. Where my stick go? We're gonna do some protection for you because sometimes people will try to manifest you in their life because they want you, but they're not best for you. Maybe you're best for them, but they're not best for you. So what we're going to do here is we don't want anybody to waste your time. There are some people who just naturally, it's actually pretty amazing, they're just naturally connected energetically, and they're able to pull, especially when someone's obsessed, they're able to pull and bring you into their life. But we want to protect you from being pulled into that, because energy and attraction and things like that, it doesn't have, it's not positive or negative, it's just a function, it just happens. So people who are not so great for you can try to pull you back into their lives, and people who are excellent for you that maybe aren't pulling so much, there might still be a distance. So what we want to do is just allow the universe to do its work. We don't got to go out of our way and start to manipulate things. Just let the universe do its work. And so let you be protected from anyone trying to be an energy vampire or trying to take up space and time in your life. Let that be disconnected. Let that be disconnected. Let that be disconnected, okay? Now inhale. Exhale. So I'm just going to work on past pain that has to do with love. Sending it somewhere else. Past experiences. Just sending it somewhere else. Past drama and trauma surrounding love. And I heard a really interesting quote. I mentioned it a couple months ago, where when you first meet somebody and you have that feeling of butterflies, oh, I know this person, is because you've already dealt with that before. Not like, are you, romantically attracted to that person, or you like the way that they, show up in your life, but because if they remind you of the feelings that you felt at the beginning of the relationships that did not work, the exact same feelings, it's typically going to go in a certain direction. Because when somebody is really there to stay, it'll be a new feeling, and the feeling won't be as high and low. The feeling will be pure and stable. No more of that. Because sometimes in relationships, we get all this up here, and then we get all this down here. get all this up here, and so we get addicted to that. Instead of questioning, is this the time to get all this, let's just fill ourselves out, let's just have a good time. And also, if I'm getting this down here, is that what I deserve? No, I don't want to have those dynamics. The person will show up with a very pure and consistent energy for you. So bringing that into your life, 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 and just okay, good job. Okay, take a deep breath in, exhale, another deep breath in, exhale, final breath, exhale. Let's just balance that. Let's just balance that. Let's just balance that. Balance it out. Balance it out, okay? And, okay, be at peace. So just working through all of that. Working through all of that. So, just letting go of any now. We're gonna start working with the mental and emotional stuff. Removing any mental or emotional blockages that make you feel like it's not gonna work. Let's just take that out, take that out, take that out, take that out. Take that out, take that out, take that out. Take that out, take that out, take that out. Take that out, take that out, take that out. Take that out, take that out, take that out. Take that out. Just remove it. Just remove it. Just remove it. Just remove it and take it out. Take that out. Take that out. Just send it somewhere else. Believe that you deserve to have peace in your romantic life. And just understand that if you are missing peace in your romantic life, it is typically because there's something that might be a little bit in the other interpersonal relationships that you have in your life. Family, friends, or even how you show up. Like, for example, the dynamics that you have in your family that maybe even extend over to your friendship circles may not work in relationships. Why? Because those dynamics you have within your family, that's y'all's unique dynamics. Don't assume that everybody's experiencing that. And those dynamics you have in your friendship circle is what you all consent to. Don't think that everybody else out here in the world is living like that too. So if you find somebody that you really feel like could hold value and you hold value in their life, but it's just different, don't see that as negative. See it as, now it's time for me to evolve and change. These other two things are going to change, friends and family, but I think it's for my best good. I want to evolve in the way that I approach things. So you will be able to find what is right for you. You will be able to find what is right for you and what you need. Just work It starts with loving yourself. The biggest shortcut to getting someone to come into your life and attract someone is to love yourself and to enjoy life. And because you love yourself and you love this life that you're living, you go out and you experience it with others, and that's how you meet people. If you want to meet them online, if you want to meet them in places that are going out or hobbies or whatever, among your friends, the key is you have to be happy, because people are attracted to happy people, not fake happy, because that's kind of annoying, where it's like, chill out, but genuinely just happy with your life. And the way that you demonstrate that looks different to everybody. Some people is, some people it's more reserved, but just genuinely being happy and peaceful, that's how you get the love that you want, because you're already giving it to yourself. So you can bring someone who comes in and you all can compliment each other. It's that simple. Well, babies, I hope you enjoyed the session today, and I hope that it helped you in both attracting love, balancing love, developing your self-love, and protecting you against people who waste your time. So, don't forget that we have the giveaway going on in the Patreon community, and you're going to be answering the question, why are you ready to be a healer? And so the patrons can answer that question, and they win a spot in the weekly on Patreon with the cleanses and herb pairings that we have going on, and it's been a 2-month cleanse, so it is available to you if you would like to join. It is on the Patreon community. It is only $3 a month, so feel free to stop by. We check in with each other every Sunday. We hold each other accountable, but I think less about the accountability and more about just the connectedness. And why are we doing this? We're doing this to prepare our body, our energy for coming into 2023. Why? Because we're going to start the new year in a Mercury retrograde. It's going to be a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. It's going to have a lot of these foundational things that we need to work through, and the best way that we can prepare ourselves for a journey like that, and that journey that I think is necessary, is to make sure our body is aligned in the way that we need. So we have herb pairings, we have an esoteric cleanser as well on a soul level, so multiple things. So come and join us in the Patreon community, and it's only for a limited amount of time, because after that it'll be something else. So if you're new to the community, we start the community off with hold on, my bad, slipped my mind. If you're new, you're now one of my babies, so you get one kiss on the forehead. And if you're returning babies, welcome back, and you get multiple kisses. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot. Anyway, rewind back over here. So we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. I'm just kidding. May I touch you? Okay, I'm just gonna place my hands over your face, okay? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Close your eyes if you like. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to let go of the things we don't need and accept the things that will allow us to grow and achieve. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out to us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, and we're gonna go in. I'm gonna start with these Reiki symbols, okay? So just take a deep breath in, exhale. Chukure, chukure, The symbol itself is just some squiggly lines, but what it represents is all of those people with the intention of coming in and healing. That is what puts power into it. We're connecting into a collective energy of healing. That's what it is. A healing that transcends styles and modalities. And this is just one way we tap into it, so keep breathing. Just breathe in and out here. Breathe in and out here. Breathe in and out here. I'm gonna go into the next part, okay? Activating and connecting you in a distance. So let's go. So just removing any belief that you can't have or do or achieve or accomplish or go in a direction that you would like to go and flow in. Removing this, sending this out, sending it somewhere else that don't got nothing to do with you right now, okay? And I want you to sit in whatever feelings that are coming up, even if they're uncomfortable or especially if they're positive and they feel good. Just sit in them. I want you to step into them. No judgment. I want you to take your judgment away and just step into them. What does it feel like in your body? Objectively look at it. What does it feel like in your body? How does it make your toes feel, your knees and your ankles, your back, forward body, sides and back body? Now, whatever this feeling is, I want you to ask, what is the message that you are being sent? Because we can receive messages through our feelings, our sensations as well. What is the message that the universe is throwing at you? And whatever that is, just reflect on it, okay? So I'm going to work on bridging that communication with you and the universe. You always have access to that. You don't need me. I'm just allowing you to feel comfortable being vulnerable with yourself. That's all it pretty much is. Okay. Good job. Good job. Okay. Just and let me see that cute little face. Cute little nose. I was gonna say nose socket. Put a plug in your nose. How are you feeling? And if you're new to the community, you know, a lot of what I do is my intention is always just to make you feel better. And so I think I'm funny. If I'm really funny, that's debatable, you know, but at the end of the day, not every moment is this blissful, happy moment. Instead, why don't we just try, in whatever capacity feels good to us, to tap into what are these feelings trying to tell me? What are they trying to say? What do they want me to know? What do these feelings want me to know? What healing can it bring? Let me not judge if it is a great feeling or a not great feeling. Let me just understand the message. And with that message, I will do with it as I need to. I accept that I am smart enough to do with it as I need to. So start to think like that, okay? Okay. And so I'm going to go in and do a Reiki symbol for soul. So I'm going to do a Reiki symbol for soul completion here, okay? Thank you, 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 and just balance here. Don't be afraid. Trust yourself. There's so many things out there that'll make us feel like we can't trust ourselves, but we can. So don't be afraid to trust yourself. Don't be afraid to become more and more vulnerable with yourself. Don't be afraid to become more and more connected with yourself. Become more and more peaceful with yourself. Become more and more in love with the life that you're living, okay? And so I'm just going to kind of smooth those in and put them in. And when I say in, I mean surrounding you. Again, Reiki symbols are a representation of a certain energy. There's many paths in order to get to this energy, and you get to choose what path or paths that you want to take. But it is not a permanent fixture. It is something that requires us to put effort in each and every day. That's why it's not one of these things where you get one, Reiki symbol and you never come back again. No, it's not like that. That opens something in you. It opens something in you to be able to become more aware of your healing. But if you ignore it, it dissipates. So it's important to check in with yourself and your body and continue to give yourself what you need. Just shift down here. And then for completion, okay. Hey babies, how do you feel? What's the energy feeling like? Check it in with you. I'm gonna give you some kisses. How is it? What came up for you? What messages were coming across today? Not everything that we feel is quite literal. Like, for example, when you don't feel like getting up and doing something and you just want to lay, it feels really good, but that feeling can be very deceitful. The same is in reverse. When you have a situation where you have to go do something, you don't feel like doing it, it feels like, ugh. But that feeling can be deceitful too, because in those two examples, you may think that having to do the thing is bad and that getting to sit there is great. But sitting there is a representation of stagnation versus moving and kind of warming up a cold engine, because that's pretty much it is. It's a representation of movement. Our physical body might lean more to one or the other, but at the end of the day, be very practical and objective when you look at these things. invite you to join the 52-week challenge on the Patreon community. It is $3 a month, and in that challenge we are mastering 1 to 2 things during this year. So we're coming together as a community, as a collective, in order to get where we need to go. We're gonna hold each other's hands and walk to the finish line. So we start our community. We start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us down in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay. May I place this crystal on your head? Just kidding. Okay, may I hold your hand? Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So, just placing all of this rose quartz attracting energy onto you. Just placing that all around you, because I want you to have sweetness. I want you to attract that sweet love. Now, you know, I'm gonna say it because I say it every time, okay? There is no way to bring love into your life without first loving yourself. That's just the reality of how things are. You have to love yourself immensely and unconditionally in order to demonstrate, reflect, and put the energy out into the universe for someone to love you in the way that you are looking to be loved. And when you do this, you will start to notice that what you want from someone else may be something that you could give yourself all along. So we're going to bring this love to you, okay? But we just had to make sure that you are all good with understanding what love to truly value. I think we can force any type of love in our life, but that doesn't mean just because we can, we should. You may have somebody in the back of your mind, oh, I really like this person, I think we'll be great. I dare say I love this person, I just want them to like me back. Nope. What I want you to think about is the quality of why you like this person, because 9 times out of 10, we are the ones who give people the quality, or we're the ones who give people the, the specialness. Once you take your own thoughts out of it, does that person, do they still stand? Are they still the quality that you want? Do you want someone who's kind, caring, generous? Someone who stands up for what they believe in? Someone who enjoys leisure or activity? Someone who likes to travel? Someone who likes to read? Someone who likes to socialize? Someone who likes to, stay in the house? I want you to think about that. Think about also values, okay? You want someone who wants to get married? Do you want someone who doesn't want to get married? Do you want to have someone who wants to have children? Do you want to have someone who wants to only adopt children? Think about those values that you want within the right partnership. Do you want a conventional partnership? Do you want an unconventional partnership? Think about all those things. Now, what I want you to do is think about those things that you want. Ask yourself questions. Okay, I'm attracted to this kind of person. Externally, someone I can enjoy life with? Who is someone that can bring a smile to my face and I can bring a smile to them? And also, who is someone that I'm not going to put baggage on them and they're not going to put baggage on me? That we don't project onto each other. The healthiest form of relationship and connection. Someone who looks at you with the greatest amount of awe. They love being around you, as well as you all have your own me time. There's no codependency. It's just connection. And if you're in a relationship already where there are ups and downs, your relationship will most likely not get to this point. I'm just going to be honest with you. I see it all the time. There will be a small minority of people in those really ups and down relationships where the relationship actually gets to where they want it to go. But don't think that you're a part of that small group. Instead, what I want you to think about is this. It is really hard to make someone treat you differently once they've established a pattern. So it may feel easier to stick with a relationship that does not work or that you already have because you think it's going to be so much harder. But I promise you it's really not. There are like 7 billion people in the world. You're not going to tell me there's not at least a good 10 or 20 that's going to work out with you. I'm just saying. Let's just do the math, okay? And with that being said, I'm going to give you this advice that my mom gave me. I was 23. I think I was 23, okay? And I had just broken up. I was, heartbroken. We were in a good 6-7 month relationship, right? That's nothing. But in that moment, I was just so sad. It didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. And then my mom said to me, she's like, why are you acting so desperate? I was like, what? She was like, why are you acting so desperate? You're too attractive to act this way. And then I sat back and I was like, that's some horrible advice she's giving me. She's supposed to be making me feel better. And then when I sat and really thought about it, I was like, yeah, why am I so pressed? Like, this is not even the most ideal relationship to be in. Why am I pressed? Why am I pressed? Because when you're younger, you're not as in control of your feelings. You haven't lived longer relationships than 6 months. You haven't realized that, people will come, but they will also go, And also, I wasn't at the point where I really valued my peace of mind, my feeling good, my comfort. I didn't prioritize that over say no to someone, the better that the dynamics will be with you and those people, because they'll understand people respect boundaries, especially if you're very clear in the beginning. They don't if you're like, I don't know, is this the right person? If you don't know if that's the right person, maybe it's not. Or maybe you need to take some time to get to know yourself more and fully. Maybe that might be the right person, but this is not the right time for you. So just enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy this experience. That is how to bring and manifest that love. Okay, babies, how do you feel? Just putting this last bit over you and just relaxing you here. I want you to think about all those things we talked about today, and I want you to bring that into your life, okay? And I want you to be open and receptive to that of which you are seeking, that love that you want, that love that you want to bring into your life. Welcome back to all of my retarded babies. Mama loves you, and I'm gonna go give you some kisses. I spoil you too much. Psych. So, we're gonna get started. We start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you? Okay. Close your eyes, relax. Keep your eyes open if you want to see what's happening. It's pretty much this, but relax, okay? Inhale. Exhale. Dear universe, in all of the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass our lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Okay. And let your Ashe be in the wind, or your chi, or your Reiki, or your life force energy. Many different cultures and customs, and to explain this phenomenon, which is life force energy, and that's really kind of the basis of energy healing. And so as you go around the world and you go throughout time, there are different examples of energy healers, shamans, and I'm using the word shaman, but understand that where you go in the world, they have their own distinct name, distinct practices, but it really is just the human experience within those cultures, trying to explain this energy or this connectedness that we all have access to. And I think the really cool thing about it is you get to choose based off of your lineage, your culture, and your understanding and your choice where or how you want to consume that information. There's no wrong answers. There's no right answers, you know. It's whatever makes you feel comfortable, and that's what this self-care journey is about. Just giving yourself permission to make yourself feel comfortable. So let's get into the finding love. I'll work on the aura a little bit, and we're just going to get right through to it, okay? Finding love starts. You already know where I'm gonna go. Right here. If you do not love yourself, if you do not have self-respect, and if you do not learn how to value yourself and prioritize yourself, it's really hard to expect that you will receive that from anyone outside of you. And if you do receive that and you're not giving it to yourself, it starts to look very codependent. Sometimes people will love bomb you in order to then try to siphon your energy off on the back end. Or maybe you might be the person energy vampiring. It's no judgment here, you know, everybody is on their own path. I think sometimes it might appear like there's just a sense of insecurity inside the self. And if you want to find love, you have to balance those things. And it really is taking some time and just working on you, going inside of you, working on the you that is here. And it looks different for different people, and there's different things that you can do. It's up to you what you want to do, but you kind of have to have this keeping it real moment with yourself. Hey, this is where I'm at. And you really have to challenge what you believe love is, because a lot of times we're stuck wanting the right love, but our parameters, our expectations, our goals, our value systems that we think love is completely bonkers. We haven't reevaluated it. We built those systems from pain, from discomfort, from trying to live out other people's dreams or expectations, from taking that, energy on from other people. And it's almost like if you can figure this out, if you can get this love from this weird system that we all have within us, if you can get it, it kind of rights the wrongs of all the past. It's like those parents who try to live out their life in their kids, because then it makes everything better but for them in their past. But the reality is you can't live through someone, you cannot control someone. They have their own dreams and hopes and things like that. So understanding and finding the right love is you need to question what you value as love, because a lot of times trauma, codependency, these things are being kind of wrapped up in a blanket and presented as if this is love. I'd die for you, I'd disrespect myself for you, I'd sacrifice myself for you, I'd make myself look foolish, all of these things to show how much I care for you. That's toxic. That is not an environment that is really good for the nervous system long term. That doesn't even make sense. Oh yeah, that might be cute, because then in a very big external way you can tell other people, friends, families, the collective community, look at how much this person likes you, because you think that those demonstrations would reflect them holding you down later on in life. First and foremost, life is hard enough. You do not have to do all that, or you do not have to expect that from other people. And understanding that love, when it comes from within, that stuff on the outside is going on the inside too, okay? So that's why we have to take a look at ourselves, and the way to get over that energy, if you just feel like, oh, it's never the right person, is you really have to love and deeply love and nurture and take care of yourself. You really gotta wine and dine yourself. You really have to be okay being alone. That doesn't mean you're not out there dating. That doesn't mean you're not out there, trying. But the core of your focus during this time of healing and rejuvenating and regenerating your energy is yourself. So you have to have enough courage to say, I want to see myself. I want to see the beauty here. I don't need someone outside of me to validate it. I'm going to see it within myself. And the things that I feel are beautiful. And beauty isn't just the physical, it's the energetic, it's the mental, it's all of that kind of stuff. The things that I feel like are beautiful, that's what I want others to value, or that's what I would like to value within other people. And that, at the end of the day, everybody has their preference. Everybody has, what they like, their style. But it's deeper than that. And I am in no way telling anyone to go against what their external preference is. That's your business, But make sure that the preference you like and you want is based off of something that you like and you want, not what you have been told to like and want. Or maybe you like a variety of things, a variety. Think about SpongeBob. A variety of things, okay? So, finding that love. happening in friendships and family, and sometimes you have a hyper focus in one area. So say you're a relationship person, maybe your friendships don't go through that kind of stuff, in your family it doesn't go through that kind of same dynamics. It's a little bit more balanced, but it's just love, or maybe you're a friendship person and you got the big friendships, a lot of stuff happening, but maybe love not so much, and maybe family yes or no, or sometimes you can have all three. And then on top of that, how you feel about yourself. Now, there are certain times where we might feel like, well, family is fine, my community, collective friendships are fine, love is fine, and I just don't feel good. Now, if that is a space, then we're dealing with the soul, the esoteric, and medical. So soul, esoteric, medical, and I'll just kind of break it down to, let's just say, the spirit, spiritual, energetic, energy, and medical. Because if all of those other things are pretty much fine, but you still feel like, I just don't feel loved, I don't feel the love, I don't have that. On a soul level, on an energetic level, the soul is seeking and the soul is searching, and maybe you're trying to find a deeper love or connection with the divine, the universe, what some call God, some call, other cultures call different things, and if you don't have a connection, or you don't want to use that language, that's fine too. Whatever it is for you, I tell you all the time, it's not my business to tell you what to think. That's your business, and feel free to change it and go. This is an inclusive, collective space where a lot of people think a lot of different things. We just here to feel good about ourselves. But yeah, trying to understand this phenomena of the unknown, that connectedness energy between me and you. So that's one experience, and so that can lead us to wanting to enrich our knowledge of spiritual, energetic, esoteric, things. It can be religious in certain instances, because we're looking for a deep divine soul love, and understand that that is the same thing as self-love. If we're looking for that, if that's the main thing, we are looking for self-love. And if we're looking for self-love, we are connected to that, whatever that is for you. So that's what's going on there. And then I also say on the medical side, and I actually talk about this when I go on my nutrition or my nutrigenomics kind of rants, where there are certain medical conditions that a person can have in which just the homeostasis or the balance of the body is off. And I'm not talking about what I think some people think, which is, there's just something wrong with the brain chemistry, which yes, I'm trying to say, but they kind of think about, I was just born this way with something wrong with this, and kind of mutations in which people are just born with these kind of deep feelings of sorrow and sadness and anxiety and depression aren't as frequent as we might think. But it doesn't mean that the person isn't experiencing those things. What may be happening, and I go on these rants all the time, is that we have common micronutrients, our vitamins and things like that, that are off. And they're throwing the systems in our body off. And when those things are off, some of the byproducts are anxiety, depression, brain fog, feeling exhausted, all of these other things that we may be attributing solely to trying to recover from traumatic experience, or just that's just how the brain is. So there's multiple levels, and of course those other things matter too. So when we're looking for this love, we gotta narrow down, what do we truly want to focus on? And you can focus on an array of things, that's completely okay, but it's not, don't put all the pressure in one place. So if family, friends, and love are feeling good, but it's these other areas I'm talking about, don't put the pressure on the family, the friends, and love to make up for. This is where you need to explore. If those sides are pretty good and you need to balance something over here, out here with this family, friends, and love, don't put the pressure on this. And what this looks like is it looks like religiosity, where someone gets hyper focused in their religion, and instead of working on the dynamics of developing emotional intelligence and communicating with others, they kind of just feel like I'm very stuck to religious beliefs. It happens the same in spirituality, spiritual esoteric cultures, any of the wisdom traditions, or any of, this knowledge of trying to connect to the divine. People can also be obsessive, because the reason why they get obsessive is they feel like, oh, this is the one area where, this supersedes anything else. You see it actually a lot in religion. Oh, the religious aspect supersedes everything else. So if I have behavior that is unhealthy for me here, no one's gonna say anything about it. That's why a lot of times, and this is just my personal opinion, you see people suffering from mental health related episodes kind of just running freely and unsupported in certain religious dynamics, almost in a kind of way to keep them there, keep them in that kind of dynamic. Because if they are obsessed over something that is not unhealthy, but also a byproduct is being a devout, whatever that is, the poor behavior or the unhealthy behavior or the self-damaging behavior is still allowed to run free. Now, I said all of this to say to you, when it comes to finding love, we work on multiple levels, we work on multiple levels, and I will really kind of open you up to say, if you're really pining for someone, like you have somebody in mind and you just want them to think about you, I know, because I'm like, they're thinking about you right now, but you want them to think about you, just understand that what is for you will be for you. You can't force anybody, to want you. Now, can you make someone think about you, make them, manifest them into your life? Of course you can. But do you really want that person? Now, on the other side, say you're in a space where you're like, I've worked on myself, I'm working on myself, and I'm ready to be in a happy and healthy relationship. The person just has not come yet, and I want them to be thinking of me. You could do that too. Now, let's be honest. You're the only one who's gonna know. You're the only one who's gonna know. You could tell me, Jet, like, hey, I'm looking for, the latter, not the former. I would know the difference, because, that's up to you. That's up to you to regulate those kind of things. So, you have in every ability, the ability to find the love that you are looking for, that you are seeking in your life. And you do not have to be afraid. You do not have to be fearful. It is coming. Be patient, but work on yourself on these many levels that we're talking about, and don't be afraid of one area. Sometimes people don't want to go down the esoteric or the medical aspect or the self-reflecting aspect or seeking help from a healthcare professional or a mental health professional or communities and collectives or an energy healing practitioner, or, as I prefer, a combination of all of these, great energies to help. Some people don't want to, but it's okay. See it like this. Don't see it as I have a problem that needs solving. See it as if I am lucky enough to afford or have access to all of these people that can help me take care of myself, I'm going to do it. And along the way and along the journey, you think, oh, the love, I want this person, to be thinking about me. But really what you need to be thinking is, I want my doctor to be thinking about to resolve this. Because you can find somebody, it ain't hard to find somebody. But it may be hard if you have been misdiagnosed with certain issues to balance those things internally, you know. So take the pressure off yourself and get a little bit more balance. So just made that up. So we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, let's begin. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So let's begin. Let's start to move away those layers of self-doubt that ever made you question yourself or ever made you feel like you weren't good enough. Let's send them somewhere else, because here is not the place that it needs to be. Just keep doing this, sending it on in its evolutionary path, and just inhale and exhale for me. Let's just work through this energy around you and create an opening for you to feel better, to feel something different, to feel refreshed, renewed, to feel a unique sense of yay. So work through all of this and just work through it. Okay? Just moving through the space and time and all of that. So whatever it is that's been weighing you down, let's send it somewhere else. Send it somewhere else. Whenever you don't feel good enough, let's send that feeling somewhere else. So taking that, plugging it, and moving it on. Moving it to somewhere and something else. Somewhere and something else. Somewhere and somewhere else. And pulling it out. 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 Pulling. 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 And moving it through. Moving it through. It's like kind of weaving a blanket, taking the feelings that no longer work and weaving them into a blanket so that they can be captured and maintained where they're at. I'm sure we have plenty of folklore and many wisdom traditions that probably incorporate that. Keep breathing. Just weaving in and out. In and out. And are you noticing in this moment? What are you realizing in this moment? What is important for you in this moment? Where do you need to have that soft, nurturing energy applied to in your life at this moment? Don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. 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 It's gonna be okay. Everything is going to be alright. It's okay. 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 Where are you at in life right now? What needs cleansing? What needs healing? What needs space and peace? What needs understanding? What needs compassion? What needs healing? What needs hope? 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 Just working through, pulling this through. Just unweaving those aspects of you that you're ready to let go of and placing it into the energy. Now I'd love for someone in the comment section to let me know one of the wisdom traditions that we have out here that incorporates weaving as a way to remove energy that no longer serves us. That's a wonderful way for us to maintain and share that knowledge. Just breathing, breathing, this energy and feel better. Feel better. And feel better. And feel better. It's all right. Okay. Just let's pull the rest out. Send it somewhere else. Just move through the energy. 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 Move through it. Move through it. Find your way through. Find your way to the other side. Feel yourself becoming more connected, becoming lighter, becoming more whole in the experience. Stay focused on you. Stay focused on you. Stay focused on you. Stay focused on you. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed our session today, and I hope you're taking care of yourself. Remember that no matter what you're going through in life, you have the ability to still have a beautiful and quality life. Sometimes the stuff that happens to us on a temporary basis feels like it's big, feels like it's gonna last forever, but it's just a couple of moments. And you have to ask yourself during those times of difficulties, how do you respond? What's going on the inside? Are you going to be ready for the bigger things that show up in your life? Because how you respond, how you deal with things that happen on a smaller level, gives you a glimpse of if you will be able to handle things on a larger level. So if you're ready to move on, you're ready to take yourself to another level of your evolution and your growth, you have to learn how to handle things on smaller levels so that you'll be able and be prepared to handle things on bigger levels. Well, babies, if no one has said it, let me go ahead and say it. Wash your hands for at least 30 seconds. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask in public and wear them gloves too, baby. And be sweet to yourself. And if no one has said it, let me go ahead and say it. I love you. But who cares that I love you? Just make sure you love yourself a little bit more each and every day. Okay.